Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Всем привет и добро пожаловать на мой канал. In today's lesson we're gonna have a look at the Russian Cyrillic alphabet, so how to read it, and we're gonna have a look at all those different very weird letters that might confuse you at the first time, but don't get scared as we're gonna discuss each letter separately, how to read it correctly and how to obviously write it. So let's get started. Russian alphabet has 33 letters and it has 10 vowels compared to English alphabet that has 5 vowels. It has also 2 letters that are completely different and don't have any sound at all, but they're very important in terms of how you pronounce letters that stand next to these 2 letters. So the first group of letters that we're going to have a look at is the group of letters that actually look and sound similar as in English. Okay, there are whole 6 letters that actually look and sound same as in English alphabet. So the first letter is A, which is always pronounced as a wide A sound. The second letter, E, is always pronounced as E sound, or you're going to have 2 more particularities in its pronunciation, which we're going to cover later on. The third letter is O. Letter O is always pronounced as wide O sound, or it can be also pronounced as A. Then it's letter K. It's always pronounced as K. Letter M, which is pronounced like in English M sound, and letter T, which is always pronounced. So the first group of letters that we're going to in English alphabet starts with letter A, but in Russian it is pronounced as a wide sound A. So if you have a look at the examples, mama, tam, mak. Mama, tam, mak. Now letter E is a bit more interesting one because it can be pronounced in 3 different ways in Russian. It can be pronounced as ye at the start of the word, like in example Yeva. It can be pronounced as E sound, like in metro. This is because letter E is not stressed, because the stress in this word follows on the last syllable, metro. And it can be pronounced as wide E sound, like in tennis, because in this case the letter E is actually part of the syllable that is stressed. Now letter O in Russian language can be pronounced in 2 different ways. We're going to first of all have a look when it is pronounced as a wide O sound. Kot, opera, port. Kot, opera, port. So whenever the O is stressed, then it is actually pronounced as O. Letter O is not stressed, then it is pronounced as A sound, like in examples Молоко, Москва, Мороз. Молоко, Москва, Мороз. Now letter K is a bit of a boring letter. It's always pronounced as K sound, like in кот, хоккей, качели. Кот, хоккей, качели. Letter M is pronounced always as M sound. Mama, метро, Москва. Mama, метро, Москва. And letter T is always pronounced as T sound. Таня, транспорт, теннис. Таня, транспорт, теннис. So the second group of letters that we're going to have a look at are the letters that actually look alike, like English letters, but no, they're not the same. They actually have a different sound to them. Let's have a look at them. That's letter V, V, which looks like English B. Then the next letter is Z. It looks a bit like a number 3, and you might wonder why it is actually a letter if it looks like a number. The next one is a tricky one. Usually you will confuse it with H, but no, it's actually N. The next one is R, which you could confuse it with the English P. And this is not C, it's S. So it's S sound in Russian. The next one might look like a Y, but it's actually U. So this one is Ch. That looks a bit like a number. Now we're going to have a closer look at this group. V is always pronounced as V, nothing special about this letter, like in examples вино, ветер, веер. Вино, ветер, веер. Z, always pronounced as Z, nothing special about this letter. Зон, заяц, звонок. Now this one is N, and you might find yourself confused when reading Russian letters with this letter. You want always to read it like an H, but it's actually носок, носорог, ножницы. Носок, носорог. This one is Р, Россия, реальность, ресторан. Россия, реальность, ресторан. This one is not C, it's S. 100, север, Сибирь. 100, север. This one is U. Утка, улица, улыбка. Утка, улица, улыбка. Ч, like in examples of чай, чемодан. Часы. Х, хлеб, халат, муха. Хлеб, халат. So the third group that we're going to have a look at are the letters that actually look very much differently to the letters in English but have familiar sound as in English alphabet. Let's have a look at the first one. So the first letter is B. B. The next one is G. D. Yo. Ж. P. F. I. I. L. C. Ш. Щ. U. B, like in examples билет, библиотека, балерина. No particularities with this letter, it's always pronounced as B. Билет, библиотека, балерина. G, it's always pronounced as a G sound, glass, globus, груша. Glass, globus. D is always pronounced as D. Дом, дача, дерево. Дом, дача, дерево. Dacha is a very much of a Russian term and it means a weekend. Ё, пес, ежик, елка. Пес, ежик. Ж, like in жук, жираф, Женя. Жук, жираф, Женя. Папа, привет, мальчик. Папа, привет. F, this funny letter is always pronounced as F sound. Фея, flag, football. Фея, flag, football. I, like in the name Ира, India, рис. Ира, India, рис. Y, letter Y is always found in words that are actually coming to Russian from English language, as you can see in yoga, yogurt, yod. So they're borrowed words and would have the word that will start with E and O. Otherwise, in Russian words, you would write this funny letter yo. That is E with 2 dots on top. Yoga, yogurt, yod. Т, лук, лампа, малыш. Лук, лампа. Ц, цирк, царевна, цыпленок. Цирк, царевна. Буква Ш, шар, мишка, шоколад. Шар, мишка, шоколад. Sh is like a soft sh sound, like in she, щука, щенок. She, щука, щенок. By the way, she is a very much Russian soup that's made with sorrel. It's a оборотное «э», this is a wide «э» sound. Экран, аэропорт, эскимо. Экран, аэропорт, эскимо. Ю, Юля, юбка, юла. Юля, юбка, юла. Я, in the word я, which means I. Яблоко, ягода. Я, яблоко.
And the last group that we're going to have a look at is the fourth group of letters. There are just 3 letters that actually look differently and sound differently. Well, most of them don't even have a sound. So the first one is hard sign, so which doesn't have actually a sound to this letter, but it's very important in terms of how you pronounce the letters that are written next with the hard sign. The second letter is soft sign. So a soft sign has a function of making the consonant that is written next to it a softer sound. And the last one is tvrdy I, which is a hard E sound, very particular to the Russian language, and it sounds like U.
Znak doesn't have a sound on its own, but it's a very important sign in terms of how to pronounce the other letters that it's written next to them. Подъезд, съемка, объект. So you can see that we have one consonant and then we have a hard sign and then we have vowel. What it means is that this vowel that follows this hard sign is pronounced as irritated sound. Подъезд, съемка, объехать. Otherwise, if we didn't have this hard sign in between these letters, it means that it will be pronounced as подъезд, съемка, объехать. So it serves the purpose of how to correctly pronounce the word. Goes for soft sign. So soft sign on its own, it doesn't have any sound, but it's very important in terms of how the consonants to which it's written are pronounced. So we have день, ночь, мальчик. День, ночь, мальчик. So it softens the consonant next to which it's written. Otherwise, it would be pronounced as день, ночь, мальчик. You see, the consonants would be pronounced harder. Last letter твердый И as И. Рыба, мыло, тыква. Рыба, мыло, тыква. Don't say риба, мило, тыква. Yeah, it needs to be pronounced harder. And now we're just going to have a look at particularities of Russian Cyrillic alphabet. So we have learned that it's a soft sign, hard sign, a soft sh. You find vowels that English on its own doesn't have them as letters. Each of the vowels, so a, e, o, u, твердый I, have their unified version. So letter A, ununified version is ya. Letter E, unified version is ye. Letter O, which is unified version with yo. Letter U is paired with u. And letter U is paired with I. Now we're going to have a closer look at the rules of reading. The letter O can be either read as O, If the letter O is stressed, then it is pronounced as O sound, like in kot, son, sport, rodina, port, vino. If the letter O is not stressed in a word, then it is pronounced as A sound, like in words хорошо, молоко, пиво. Хорошо, молоко, пиво. So in the words хорошо и молоко, so both of these words have 3 syllables, and the stress is on the last syllable, on the last O, so that all the previous O's are pronounced as wide A's. Another interesting letter is letter E. Letter E, as we already had a look at it before, can be pronounced as Y sound if it's found at the start of the word. Also, it can be pronounced as E sound. If the letter E is stressed, then it is pronounced as a wide E sound, like in the words bassin, text, in. If the letter E is not stressed, then it is pronounced as E sound, like in examples сестра, перо, метро. Сестра, перо, метро. As you can see in all of these examples, the stress lies on the last syllable, and therefore the E that is before that syllable is not stressed, and it is pronounced as E. Russian consonants can be divided into groups. The first group are the so-called voiced consonants. Some of the consonants can be only voiced consonants or only voiceless consonants. So the voiced consonants are M, N, R, L, Y. The second group are voiceless consonants, which are sh, ch, c, h. And then we have some consonants that you can find in pairs. So we have a voiced consonant that has its voiceless consonant pair, like BP, VF, GP, DT, ZS, ZS. BP, VF, GP, DT, ZS, ZS. And we're going to have a closer look now. Why is it important to know that these consonants come in? So as you can see that the voiced consonants that are written at the end of the word are always pronounced as voiceless consonants. Let's have a look at the first group. BP. So the voiced consonant B at the end of the word is pronounced as P, like in zub, dub, stolp. V at the end of the word is pronounced as F sound, zryv, gniew. G at the end of the word is pronounced as K, śnieg, druk. D at the end of the word is pronounced as T sound, год, город. Z is pronounced as S, gaz, zakaz. Ż is pronounced as sh, muż, pляж.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found the information in this lesson helpful and that it will help you to improve your reading skills and speaking skills in Russian. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment in the comment box down below about which letter do you think it will be for you the hardest to pronounce or to learn. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you're not gonna miss your next lesson. See you in my next one. Пока-пока!